Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Kevin Ruppert keeps us all warm as we welcome Life Radio Show newcomer, filmmaker Adam Clevenger, along with Life Radio Show old-timer Mike Canistero. We talk about Adam's new movie, People to Kill. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at WWSU1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
Is it really going to make a huge difference if I don't come back right on time? Hold on a second. Let me get the time on here. 103:52. That is very important. Don't ever let me forget that. What was it? 103:52.
Well, when
106.9.
when you're on your last life, I'll remind you 103:52.
Okay, I've
Before
been
you pass
on my
on.
last life for some time. Hey, welcome back to the Life Radio Show and all this confusion. I like to come back from the breaks like I know what I'm doing. That's really
true.
That's really my goal. Welcome back, Kevin Ruppert, still my guest co-host, and he's been forced to sit in my lap now. But it's well, yeah. As Mike said, you have a very warm bottom because he took your seat.
I did. I'm sorry. I know you didn't introduce me yet, but he has a very hot bottom.
Yeah.
It is super.
I consider it a compliment.
I mean, like literally. I mean, I could just go out and sit in the snow right now; it would melt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's hot.
Yeah, we are all about the bottom compliments here on the Life.
Yeah.
My next
can't
guests
hear
are in the
Rupert.
studio. We don't need. Yeah, he's all right.
Okay.
We don't need to hear everything. Rupert says.
I can feel it.
You can feel what he's saying.
I'm feeling what he's saying. Radiating up through my buttocks.
Right. Yep. Right through your buttocks, up into your
It is.
spine.
Right.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. You are saying some warm things. My next guests are in the studio. Filmmaker Adam Clevenger. I almost said Avum.
That's
Adam.
fine. Adam is fine.
Yeah. You move that mic closer to you.
Move the mic
Not that
closer.
mic, but that mic. There's the.
Should I move closer?
I'm
black
closer now.
Yeah, scoot closer to.
Should I move my
Canistero.
butt closer?
Yeah, well, you got to share that warmth.
Yeah.
And Mike Canistero, I told Adam to bring one of the actors from your film.
Oh
And
well.
I
then
was,
he brought
I was
me anyhow.
excited he was going to be like bringing Aaron Ryan or some, and he brought Mike Canistero.
I am
My
sorry.
bottom is not as hot anymore.
No,
It feels
no,
very cold now.
Kevin's bottom is not as hot as Aaron.
No,
yeah.
not at all. Nor her
What's-
everything.
yeah. What's
Frankly, her everything, not just her bottom.
Oh yeah. And I love working with Aaron. Aaron's so much.
Aaron's
I-
filming
I'm
tonight,
used to
actually.
her, yeah.
She's got a new movie she's getting involved in.
Nice.
Oh,
Filming
cool,
tonight.
cool.
Yeah.
So
the problem with
your latest is called People to Kill.
My first and latest is called People
First
to Kill.
and
yeah.
latest.
First and
Okay,
latest.
I didn't know it was also your first effort because
Yes.
This your first effort directing. You've done.
Yes,
I
I've
know
been in a
you've
number
been
of
in a
films
number of
with Henrik
movies.
Kudo and Eric Whiting, along with Mike, most of them. But this is my first directorial attempt. And it, but luckily it came out pretty
I
well.
feel like it was more than an attempt.
Good,
I'm going to
good,
say
good,
that.
good.
It was more than an attempt. It was a success, and it was fun to be part of, and I loved watching it. So
All
I
right.
went to the screening, and it was great. Yeah.
So are you going to do a premiere anywhere? Or
We did a premiere November 10th.
I didn't get it in.
Oh, I sent it out to everyone, and it sold out. I was looking at it sell out.
Oh,
The
wow.
premiere, and it was. I tell you what, going in was a funny story getting to it, but I was very, very, very happy with the response we got from everyone. I think Mike's, was there. I was happy to have him there, and he was thrilled with the response. I was thrilled with the response, and for a first-time filmmaker, to be able to sell it out was very touching because that wasn't about me. It was about the support I had, which was tremendous, and I really appreciate everyone who was supporting. Mike and all the cast people were just tremendous help with everything, and so I had so many spillovers from the sellout that I'm trying to put together a second premiere for those who didn't get to make it. So we're looking
cool.
at
Well,
sometime
I'll
in the
try to
spring.
make it to that one.
I will give you an invite this time.
All right.
We have like 40 people already who have been asking me about trying to do another premiere. I'm working it out, and the Yellow Cab Tavern was so great in hosting for us. and I'm working with them to try to get another premiere date. And if they give me a date, we'll try it again.
Nice. Good.
All right.
Good deal.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the movie's about without giving too much away? Just give us some teasers, but no spoilers, because we can't have that.
That's been the hardest thing. Everyone asks me what the movie's about, and it's kind of hard because I see it as a slice of life. I have everything.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe in just horror movies. I don't believe in just comedy movies. I think you have to have everything to balance. You can't, if you have comedy and you have horror, that juxtaposition always works better, I think. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So I base my movie very much on 3 films: The Birds, Dusk Till Dawn, which is probably my favorite film, and Psycho. So you have a movie that starts off as one thing, and then you have a major event, and all of a sudden it turns into something else. That's kind of how this film is kind of based as well. I had seen too many movies, especially slasher movies, where all these people start dying, and I don't know who that character was. I don't know what this person's name was. I don't know what their motivation was. I don't care about them. I don't,
Right.
They
So
died.
when they die, it's like,
It was scary.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, it started, I think, back with Jason and Freddy, where the killers started to become more interesting than the victims were.
Right.
Much more. And I didn't want that at all. So I started thinking about some movies that I liked that were, you had some character build up before things went crazy. So you cared about the characters. So you understood when something happened to them, it affected you, hopefully. And luckily, that was, there's one moment, especially in the movie, where things really take a turn. And I was sitting in the back, and I had my hand on my mom's shoulder. I'm like, everything comes to this. If people react to this, the movie's fine. If they don't react to this, I'm screwed. And that was my only nervous part of the whole movie. I will say.
I gotta say, there was a part that I was sitting behind somebody who I didn't recognize, and it could be that would have been one of your people that you know or something, but it was somebody I didn't know. And I remember there was a part of the movie when it involved me. I don't want to say anything more, but
Nothing more needs to be said.
I was introduced into a scene that was kind of not the regular scene, and I remember hearing a few people behind me just going, "What?" And I thought that was a good response. Like, what? He's like, "What is he doing here?" That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a fun response.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. And Kevin's butt is super warm still.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fun response for a movie. As a comedian, not so much. But
no, but I've gotten both.
Be.
I've gotten that too.
Yeah, but the warm butt, that's a fun
No, I've not gotten
response
the warm
no
butt
matter what.
response as a comedian.
You haven't? Oh man, you're not playing the right shows.
No, I know. No, I've done all sorts of rooms, but no.
Kevin,
But to get back to what the movie's about, more or less. I'm sorry, I got on a tangent, but I wanted to say kind of what, it's a little bit of everything. One of my friends kind of got me in a corner and said, "Fine, what's this really a thing?" I'm like, "Oh, fine, it's a thriller. I guess it's a thriller." I said, "If you're going to call it one thing," because the back of the jacket of the DVD says, "When the Tay family matriarch dies violently, the rest of the family tries to get on with their lives, but past enemies, mistakes, and demons won't let the past die, and the specter of death isn't done with the Tay family yet." That's kind of what it says. It starts off with, I can give this away because it's kind of in the trailer, but a woman at the very beginning of the movie, who seems like a very nice person, is just brutally dead. And after that, it goes back to a normal life. And like, what the heck happened? And the rest of it's building up to, why did she die? Who killed her? What are all these things going on? So it's kind of a whodunit, tragedy kind of movie in a way. But a lot of fun. The best response I got, though, I will say, is almost everyone came up to me and said, "I didn't expect it to be this funny."
Yeah, there was a lot of funny stuff, and it wasn't funny at the end, but I mean, there was a lot of funny buildup, and like he said,
you don't want people laughing at the serious stuff.
No,
I do think that when people laugh at you or with you, that they like you, and so that's a way to build a character, is to make that character funny, and I think all of the characters in our family were funny, and they had funny lines. So Adam's my brother,
I see the
Vincent
resemblance.
Holiday is my brother, if that's still his name.
Oh, okay.
he did want Vincent Holiday in the credits. So yes.
Okay.
Oh, he did want Vincent.
Vincent Holliday's my brother.
What was it for a while?
Jeff
I
Berkman's my
can't even
father.
remember.
All of
Jeff
them have-
Berkman.
Jeff Bergman is brilliant.
Yeah.
Genius.
Well, he's got some really funny lines. That's all I can tell you, is he's got some really funny
Yeah,
lines.
I remember him as was it Uncle
Luke.
Uncle Luke
In
yeah.
Awkward Thanksgiving.
He has a couple. He has
yeah.
a couple Uncle Luke like lines.
Yeah.
in this
True.
film. So
That's true. I actually had to really be careful with that because Berkman is so great. I didn't want to make it Uncle Luke Part 2.
Right.
It would be easy to do because
Yeah.
writing for him, giving him crazy stuff, is so much fun. But for his character is very fun. He's great.
Yeah, you would have to be careful not writing, because I could see how that would kind of take you into that Uncle Luke-ish kind of writing, because he definitely has that down, but he can do a lot of other things too. So he's
we don't want to typecast him as Burgess
I believe
Meredith
I've worked
from
with him,
Grumpy Old Men or anything, Like,
I believe I've worked with him in Dayton Theater Guild, but it's been like 15 years
He's
ago.
always a Dayton Theater.
So yeah.
I just did a show with him last year, and he's in one now.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't been there in forever, but yeah, I believe I worked with him in a show there once a long time ago. But yeah, brilliant actor. So who else is in it?
Oh, geez, everyone's in it. I mean, Aaron R. Ryan, as you mentioned. Very exciting. Wright State alum Marilee Osborne.
Oh,
is
okay.
also in it.
Yeah.
She's great. One of my dear friends. Moved to Texas. I'm not pleased with her, but love her to death.
Yeah, she should come back.
She should come back. She actually.
She will.
came back for the
They
premiere.
all do.
Oh, okay.
She surprised me.
Yeah,
at
they
the-
all
It
return. They might leave for a little while. They come running back.
Yep.
She surprised me at the premiere, and I cried like a baby. It was amazing. So Aaron Ryan, Marilee Osborne, Mike Canistaro, Vincent Holliday, Jeff Berkman, myself. Oh, geez, I'm going to forget place. A gentleman named Noah Shane, who plays the main villain. Who's
he was awesome.
unbelievable.
Yeah, he was awesome
name's
as
familiar.
a villain. Yeah, as White Ben.
White Ben?
The Russian kind of.
White
thug.
White Russian.
He's kind of like he's a white Russian.
Okay.
It's not anything to do with the Big Lebowski, but he was great.
Oh man, everyone commented on him afterwards, and I hope he got some work afterwards. All the directors that were in the building said, "I got to work with that guy," and I hope he got some work out of it because he was tremendous.
Yeah,
good.
A friend of mine, Sean Walters, ended up playing another thug character.
That was kind of his breakout thing, and he was a thug. And who said that the nice guys are always good bad guys?
It's
that
me.
was you. Yeah,
That was me.
So he's like a legit nice guy, and he's just kind of.
Well,
didn't have to really sell anything. He was just
It's
kind
fun
of
to play bad guys.
Yeah,
That's
but
one
he
of
was
my
kind of like a
favorite
naive
things.
bad guy, if I could say.
Well, he
that.
was young and he was in training more or less.
Yeah, he was being trained by the main bad guy, and it was kind
To
of
be
like,
a new bad guy.
Kind of. It was. I don't want to give too much away.
Right,
It was one of
right,
those
yeah.
things.
But he was great.
Being a bad guy is always a lot of fun. One of my favorite moments in theaters, I got to play Owen Musser in The Foreigner, and he is if you're unfamiliar with the play, he is a pretty hateful person and pretty hated throughout that play. And it was one of my favorite parts. I almost threw somebody over the top of a couch accidentally when I was doing my exit. And it goes from that scene goes from everybody laughing hysterically to everybody making fun of him till finally my character just exploded and just rage. And when I walked off stage, I mean, it just dead silence. And it was so fun to hear that shift from this laughter to just this. I loved being a jerk.
Yeah.
On stage, on the radio.
I thought you meant just regular.
Pretty much any time.
But that changed exactly what I was going for in the movie, and I know exactly what you mean. Because when that hit, the whole tone, you could feel the tone in the room completely shift, and that was beautiful. Because it was like at that moment, I got him. The rest of the movie is fine.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie is fine.
That's a fun shift.
We were playing with house money. House money after that point. Yeah. It's good to know.
Fun. Yeah. Just a few more casts. I want to give a shout out to Cassandra Engber, played the mom.
Oh yeah.
And you want to talk about a pro? She's been in a lot of theater around Dayton, but she set the tone for us early on as far as how to act. She was one take the entire time. It's some really intense things, really intense stuff. She was just tremendous. Ibu Windermere made an appearance.
Yep,
it was a really fun one.
Yeah, I never got to go to that.
You're so far away from that mic. We're barely
I'll get back to this. I'll get back to the mic. So, Mike, you didn't get to go to the S&M strip club.
I didn't get to go to the strip club scene.
Oh, that's terrible. They left you out of that.
I played a minister, and it's kind of part of the deal, but I probably should have been there.
You should have.
Yeah, as a minister, you probably.
I should have just gone and watched intently. Yeah. Kind of like when we did that. We both did that thug the scene for Henrik's
right.
mockumentary.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
And the girls
Right.
were fighting in the pool, and we're
Big
just.
Guns.
that was hilarious.
Big Guns
yeah.
was the name of
Did that
that.
thing ever get done?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
I didn't get to see it.
Which one of you shot me? Because I died in that one.
I don't know. I got shot. I had no.
I wish
had
I'd have gotten
blood
shot.
spewing out of everything.
I don't want to say what happened to me, but part of my
Yeah,
body
yeah,
got
yeah.
cut off.
Was
Yeah,
that
you
you?
got-
Well, it was off camera, but I had and my whole I was voiced over. I was wondering why there's no sound. Why is there no boom mic? And it's like, I think Aaron said, why are we who's recording the audio? And it's all voiced over, like it's a cheesy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, yeah. I think that was a premise. It was.
it was a cheesy
Yeah.
movie.
It was supposed to be a just a trailer for a cheesy movie.
Yeah.
That was.
That was
So-
fun.
That was
It
fun.
was fun.
That was
Yeah,
the
and then
first time I ever had. They ran a fire extinguisher filled with fake blood up through my shirt. So
Uh-huh.
when I
I
got
don't know
shot,
what
it
that's
just
like.
sprayed every.
Yeah, Mike would not know what that's
I
like.
don't know what that's like at all, and sometimes it doesn't work good.
Shush. Shush.
Yep.
Oh, a lot of
is
fire
another-
extinguisher blood
This
spray.
is another thing.
I was on one movie where I had to projectile vomit,
Wow.
and they ran this hose up my leg, and it was basically a cold pimento bean soup.
Okay. Yeah.
And this was, we were filming outside. It was in October, and it's probably 30 degrees out. My costume, mind you, was a loincloth and a vest. And they have this, yes, yes. I actually lost almost 100 pounds for that movie
Wow.
because I knew 6 months in advance, and I started hitting the gym because I was 340 pounds when they cast me in this, and by the time we started filming, I was 235.
And then after the
And it
vomit,
just-
you were 230.
It just all came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what they did is they ran this hose up the inside of my leg so you couldn't see it, and up through the back of my vest and right out the side of my
So
face.
profile shot
Yeah,
kind
profile.
of thing.
And of course, it just had a little hand pump.
yeah. Nice.
So I'm standing there, and they start pumping this stuff up there, and it's cold, and it's 30-some degrees outside, and it's just running up my inner thigh. Like, oh, was not a good experience.
You
I
needed
much
him to sit next
preferred-
to you with
I
his
much-
hot buttocks.
Yeah, that's what I needed. I needed Ruppert's buttocks.
Rupert's buttocks.
That is the name of tonight.
All right, thank you. Oh,
Cheers.
good. I always
Buttocks.
try to name this
We went
show.
from Moby Wiener last episode to Rupert's buttocks.
Rupert's hot buttocks. I mean, if you want hits, it's got to be Rupert's warm buttocks,
Yep.
right? Not just buttocks.
Oh, I love this show.
Oh, it's gonna.
Yeah.
No. You'll get your
Yep.
exposure.
Oh.
No pun
I
intended.
see what you did there.
See what I did?
But yeah, I always love that kind of innovative tech for movie making.
It's not innovative. It's survival
It's not,
tech.
yeah, it's
survival.
what you have to do. It's
what you have to do. Yeah, and so then we had a couple squib shots in this.
But
film.
yeah,
I
that
can't talk
was
about
a
'em.
fun little shoot to do because we're all running around, we're all covered with blood, and then at the end is the fight scene between it was Ia Buwindamere and Aaron
Her,
Ryan.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were
And,
just
yeah,
kind of
that
we were
was-
sitting up
That
on
was
the
terrible.
That
Deck.
was-
We were sitting on the deck and just watching because we were all done, and then
And we were
I was
all
just like,
perverts.
we just really like film.
Yeah, we just
We're
really
not
like
looking
film.
at this because two
And
beautiful
these,
women
yeah,
are
these
duking it
two
out.
gorgeous women wrestling
pool.
in the pool
Yes.
in bikinis.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was.
That was not why we were there
No, we
at
just
all.
are film buffs.
We just, we wanted to make sure everything was done with quality.
It was.
and very realistic. Yeah, we were quality control at that point.
Yeah.
So.
I play that scene often, like usually late at night. But in my
Do
mind.
you imagine Ruppert's buttocks while you're doing
No,
it?
I mean I
You
will
don't- you
now.
don't have
I mean I
video.
didn't have any.
You
Now I
just
didn't have any
replay it
context
in your
with
head
Rupert's
over and
buttocks.
over.
So,
Fun moments.
yeah. Poor
You missed
Rupert's
it,
not even
Rupert.
defending himself. He's just-
Yeah, he can't even get on a microphone anymore.
yeah.
Here, you
I displaced him.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm at the party.
Defend yourself in a hurry.
I did have a quick question. I was wondering, and you may have addressed this earlier, and maybe I just missed it, but was all of it shot here locally?
We shot it all over the place and almost got Mike killed, which was wonderful.
Sweet.
We shot in Columbus. I shot a little bit in Dayton, some in my hometown of Enon, some up in Toledo.
Nice.
Well, I think that's it. But look, we traveled quite a bit here and there.
I can tell you the Columbus story if you want. I mean, I don't know if Ruppert wants to hear.
I say go for it.
Well, I could tell you that it was April 9th. Must have been
April 9th.
3 years ago this April, maybe, or two.
A night much like tonight.
So, yeah. And, so April 9th, you think you're good for weather.
Yes.
Sheet of ice, I-70.
Yes.
Dozens of cars off the road. I have anxiety in the morning sometimes, and I had anxiety when driving at that period in my life. And I was just going like 30, and you could just see a shiny mirror of the highway. But we all made it somehow miraculously, because they didn't treat the roads or anything, and we all made it to Columbus at that place that was a church venue.
Yeah.
Which was an assisted living center, I think, right?
Yeah, it was a senior living center. Yeah, it was beautiful.
We all made it there like 9 o'clock. I mean, it was crazy how dangerous that drive was. And then it was snowing on the way back. Like sleet snowing.
It was terrible.
It was crazy.
I was so scared for my cast. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, it was just amazing. If we'd have missed one person,
Yeah.
it would have been.
And that was crucial stuff too. That was star-based stuff with almost everybody. Was
we did like a Star Trek. One of the venues that we shot at, one of the places was a Star Trek store. Is still there?
No, that's one of the reasons I had to film this thing.
Yeah.
Originally, it was actually supposed to be directed by somebody else. I was writing for someone else because I was not in any way, shape, or form prepared to direct anything. I'd never, and up until this movie, I'd never touched a camera before. I'd never filmed anything. I'd never run sound. I didn't know anything.
So what exactly made you want to take the leap into directing?
Well, I didn't.
You didn't. You just...
I like writing. I single task well. I multitask poorly, and directing probably isn't the best thing for that. Probably you got to watch everything. The thing that saved my butt was early on. I had help from other directors. Eric Whiting was my DP, and thank God he was there for the first. By half the shoot, he was my director of photography, and he did some really beautiful things, and I learned some things from him. My friend Noah Shane, who played the bad guy, he also worked in L.A. for a while, and he understood lighting. So between Eric and him, the first half of the movie was me learning from them and how to do things on my own shoot. So they made it look really, really good. But what really pushed me into having to do it was, as he said, the Star Trek store was getting ready to close. It only had like 2 months left of business. And I really, really, really wanted to film there. I wrote my movie based on not half, but a quarter of my movie was there. So I'm like, I've got to use this location, and no one else is going to direct it. I better do it. It needs to get done. And the assisted living place is no longer in business either. So like, these two places I wanted to use, I wasn't going to have access to anymore. And the S&M club, the strip club, I had a manager who was a friend there who was moving out of the job there, and I was going to lose that location in a month. I'm like, I've got to do it. I've just got to do it. It's got to get done.
Lost all your locations.
I was going to lose all my locations if I didn't do it. So here we go. So we buckled in and we went through it. Definitely a huge learning curve. And thank God I had people like Mike, who's tremendous and a great person on set and a tremendous talent. That was my biggest asset on top of my director. I couldn't have had a better cast. I mean, you look at that list of people on that I gave you, you couldn't ask for better actors than Dayton. I mean, tremendous and great people. So all my performances in the movie were just so great. And it really had very little to do with me. It was just, they're friends too, which was great. So I write decently. So I was able to write for their voices, I think, pretty well. I kind of get their humor and their pacing.
Yeah, I think you nailed it with all the characters in terms of, I didn't feel like I was standing too much outside myself, even though I'm not a minister. I was kind of
so good.
I was kind of always a reactive, kind of apprehensive guy.
You've played a minister before, though, haven't you?
Nope, no, that was this.
That was the first.
I did.
That was this.
Okay, I know you did.
I did.
Yeah.
I did once.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was frightening.
Yeah, I mean, but I had problems. That's all I can tell you is that I had problems. I was not a straight-laced minister through the whole thing. And that's why I'm talking about Ruppert's buttocks right now. Something about.
Yeah.
But Mike was very good, and I trusted him enough that I'm pretty protective of my script. Most of the people never saw the whole script. I gave like a few pages here, a few pages there. Everyone's like, I have no idea what the movie's about, and like, you don't, because you don't know what's going on. Mike was the only one. I said he wanted to write one of his scenes, and I'm like, you go for it. and he wrote.
Yeah,
it.
I think you wanted me to help
Oh,
you, and
cool.
I was like, something came to me, and I wrote my whole sermon.
So he actually wrote his own sermon, and is friggin' genius. He did such a great job.
It's actually. Can I say what the sermon was about?
by
or
all
is that too
means.
much?
No, by all
Okay,
means.
Vincent Holliday is my brother, and he's gotten the better of me, and he's gay. So I made the whole sermon about shaming my gay brother, but it was kind of under the radar. So it just had under the radar kind of innuendo that was all gay innuendo, and it wasn't nasty or hateful. It was just about like, hey, this is about you, pal.
Subtle
And it's
digs.
like it was
Yeah.
about like the parts of the Bible that
Right.
that don't really. But then again, you could see I'm like looking the whole time like I don't buy into much of this. I'm just making a whole sermon about just getting back at my brother, which is how many of us have done that kind of stuff, where you're just trying to. I don't care what it's going to cost me in this part of my life. I'm going to get back at my brother, and that's
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah.
That kind of solidified how we were sort of playful, in our relationship. And
But he
then
got you right back too, which was
and
great.
he got me back, so it's all good. And he got me back with a bunch of lines right before that. So it's kind of like, I got to get him.
Yeah, you were talking about most of the actors only see a couple of scenes. I prefer it that way. I don't think I've printed up a full script for a movie I've been in since like the first one I did. So
Yeah,
I really don't.
That's a good idea because sometimes I look at if I see a whole script, I'm like, how am I supposed to fit in with all this? Sometimes you don't. You know what I mean? It's got to be just that thing, and that's a good idea.
Because I always
you
figure
can always
that,
print it back out.
Yeah, I
later.
always figure the character doesn't know what's going to happen. Why should I?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to do my scene as I'm doing that scene. I don't know. I don't really put any more into it other than I'm cheap and I don't want to waste the paper.
No, I get that. Yeah.
Well, I work with William Lee and he rewrites every other day. Because the first movie I did with him, I printed the whole script out, and then 2 days later there was a new script, and I had to throw all that back out.
I had a problem with that as well.
Yeah,
rewrote it a
it
couple
happens because you have a better
Might
way
have been
of doing
2 or
something
3 or
that you
14
didn't have
times.
before.
You rewrote.
But
Nothing involved me though. Actually,
I don't
No,
even,
you
I don't
wrote your
even
stuff.
print a script anymore. I just have it on my phone. So I had to get better glasses, but so I could see it. But yeah, I stopped printing scripts because it was so costly. All right, we're going to have to take a little break. Even though we got rolling. But we're going to go ahead and take a break. I got some stuff planned and more book reports. So we'll be back here shortly.
The third book I'll be reporting on is entitled Pissing It All Away by David B. Stokes. The definitive biography of Helmut Vennegoll, the man who invented the urinal soap cake. Originally intended as a party gag, Vennegoll sold the rights to his neighbor for a pound of knockwurst. Vennegoll's weakness. As the popularity of the soap cake rises in restrooms worldwide, Vennegoll spirals into madness. He was known to walk into public restrooms screaming, "You are pissing on my fortune!" For which he was arrested many times. In a cruel twist of irony or fate, whichever, Vennegoll's final days were spent in an asylum where he shared a room with Winifred Carleton, the man who invented the cotton gin, but sold it to Eli Whitney for an old beehive. book I'll be reporting on is entitled The Ambitionless Donkey Part 2, The Reckoning. The Ambitionless Donkey is back with all of the colorful characters from Ambitionless Donkey 1, The Pre-Reckoning, including Bill, the out-of-work ninja. And they're all headed back to Las Vegas with one thing on their minds: winning the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's do or die for the ambitionless Donkey and Bill as they are confronted by their arch nemesis, Fraulein Gerda and her band of attractive Italians. Loaded with so many plot twists, it's hard to figure out how it ends. One of the most important books since the Bible. Read it or you'll die like some of the people in the Bible. The Bible!
Move over, Jimmy Kimmel. Step aside, Conan O'Brien. Back off, Stephen Colbert. It's my turn. I'm Mike Shea, and every Tuesday on my show, Mike Talks Funny, I sit down and talk with comedians, actors, film fans, podcasters, anybody willing to get down, get deep, and get dirty.
I don't remember the first time I had sex. That was horrible. I didn't even finish the first time I had sex.
I've tasted what most comics want, and now I have to go back and eat the leftovers.
You're so brave for wearing that shade of lipstick on stage. Oh my God.
Think of Last Comic Standing, and Mystery Science Theater 3000 had a baby, and that's the show.
My online doppelganger is also a larger black man. He is Adrian Miller. All the top results are he's a professor.
Interviews with great people, not to mention all kinds of awesome new music every show.
Hey, this is Don Smith.
This is Scotty Mage.
Hey, this is Kevin Goatee with Comics Watching Comics.
Brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
Yeah, like I was saying, Rupert, if you just grab it, just reach over and grab it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just
no wonder it's so hot.
That song. Somebody asked what that song was. I can't remember the name of it. That was actually one of Potter's Field songs. If you go to Reverb Nation, I think you can catch them on there. Plus, I know A Brutal Presence is their EP that they've had out for a little while. Hopefully, they're getting ready to do some more stuff, so I can put some new music from Potter's Field out on there. So anyway, Rupert, you were saying?
Yeah, something about Moby Wieners and action. And just want to make that clear.
Moby Wieners
Don,
between
I'll turn it
Rupert's
back over to
butt.
you for the news stories.
Okay, we're sharing a mic, and I just told him to grab it whenever he felt the urge.
Yeah.
We're back on the live radio show. Did I say that already? I don't know. With my guest co-host, Kevin Ruppert, is in with my guests, Adam Clevenger and Mike Canistero. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Are we all excited for the next round?
Well, no one's grabbing my anything, but yeah.
Rupert, go grab Mike something. Just
I'm gonna grab
whatever it is. Go
No,
for it.
I'm afraid of him. He's too hot.
Yeah.
He's too
That's
hot.
your hot butt over there.
Hot buns. Hot cross buns.
Your hot buttocks. Rupert in his hot buttocks.
God, that guy's got a metabolism. His basal metabolic rate is amazing. Sat in that chair and I sizzled. Yeah.
At Rupert's sizzling buttocks. Didn't know you'd get this many compliments coming in here. Did you? Should we hit some news stories? I think it's. Was there anything else?
It's your show, but yeah. Unless,
Well,
unless Adam wants to pump his movie more.
I like to ask for input, and then do what I want anyway.
I'm all about the news stories.
All right, a Pennsylvania man says his pet alligator is an emotional support animal, and he has been taking the reptile to visit the elderly. Joey Henney, who hosted his own hunting and fishing show from 1989 until 2000 on outlets including ESPN Outdoors, and his 4.5-foot alligator Wally paid a visit to Glatfelter Community Center at Assisted Living Development at the Village at Sprinkle Drive, north of York, Pennsylvania. Henney encouraged residents and staff members not to be afraid of the alligator's mouthful of teeth. He said he's just like a dog. He wants to be loved and petted and to eat your hand.
That is the best idea ever.
Yes, an emotional support alligator. If you're going to have an emotional support animal, it needs to be an alligator. That's because what other kind of support do you need?
I think they need to expand that idea because it turns out that those folks cost so much taxpayer money, really, at the end of their life. It would just save a lot of money.
Much like the alligator that was cold-blooded.
Yeah, we'll give a little back. Give a little back to the alligator community.
Yeah, in the form of protein.
Yeah. There were some odd names in this Glatfelter Community
Glatfelter,
Center.
yeah,
yes.
I mean, yeah, it's...
And it's on Sprinkle Drive, which...
Oh, my God. Yeah. Too bad we can't touch any of those.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, yes, we can't sprinkle.
We can't touch. All we can do is just
Glatfelter.
say that a bunch of times, and then we can't expound upon any of it.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
that's that's the brilliance
it's like doing
of
clean
radio.
comedy.
It's clean comedy show. Specifically, we mentioned that ahead of time.
It's fine.
A shocked traveler on a Missouri highway captured video of two women traveling atop a moving vehicle while twerking. The video shows two women performing the dance move atop a Chevrolet Suburban as it drives on Interstate 64. Interstate driving at that. Interstate 64 near the Science Center in St. Louis. The woman who captured the video said it was filmed during the Monday evening rush hour. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department and St. Louis County Police said they did not receive any calls about the incident, but the driver could have faced charges if they had been caught in the act. Even though the video,
I'm not calling about that.
Probably, yeah.
I'm just gonna, be happy with it.
Yeah, it's the suburban twerking challenge.
Get right in behind.
There you go.
Right in behind,
Suburban
maybe
twerking.
to the side, so in case somebody falls off.
See, suburban twerking is another good name too for the show. But
That's
I
my next
think
band
I
name.
think
Suburban Twerking.
Suburban twerking. I still think we're going with Ruppert's hot buttocks.
Ruppert's buttocks are suburban twerking.
Even better. The twerps are suburban twerking. That's a great tongue twister right there. The twerps are suburban twerking.
I can't even say it.
Yeah, not even once.
Actually, it's all one word, suburban twerking.
Suburban twerking.
It's German.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like a farfanugan.
Yeah, not suburban twerking.
Suburban twerking.
You have to say it more angrily. Is that way you
It's on
sound?
top of a Winnebago or something.
What's
like
that?
A cannon inside of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
That was great.
Where do we go from here? Aren't you glad you came on the show, Adam?
Love
Yeah,
it.
All right,
he's-
perfect.
Love it.
He's gonna go to therapy after this.
Well,
and then be back. another
Bring
time.
your emotional support alligator.
Yeah.
An artist set up an installation designed to use solar power to play Africa by Toto in a Namibian desert indefinitely. Speaking of Germans, Max Seidentopf, 27, a German Namibian artist. That's a different combination. German Namibian. Not amphibian. Yeah, artist currently based in London set up a sound installation entitled Toto Forever to play the 1982 song on a loop at an undisclosed location in the 1,200-mile-long Namib Desert. Seidentopf said solar batteries power the installation, the MP3 player, and 6 speakers. He said the desert is around 55 million years old, making it the, quote, perfect spot for the installation. Hopefully the song will play just as long. I don't know what 55 million years old has to do with Africa by Toto, but apparently that was the perfect spot. He's an artist. Don't question him. And if an artist should never have to explain their art.
I agree.
I hope it gets stolen like now.
It's
Like
already
everything.
gone. It's probably already
gone.
gone.
It better be
Yeah.
gone. I'll go get it if
Somalian
I have
pirates.
to. I want to go. I want to go and just
roaming the desert.
I want to just go stick another MP3 player in there. Something really, really not that. Like Potter's Field. I want to put,
there you go.
Just
Put
do
Potter's
that.
Field in the
Take
desert.
a little,
Yep.
like a excursion and go on a whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, now what we need to do.
I think that's the life road trip.
What we
We're
need to
going
do
to the Namib Desert to swap Africa out with Potter's Field.
Or we could take a life road trip over there and put a speaker next to it that plays the live radio show on an indefinite loop.
And you don't need solar panels. You could just use the geothermal power of Ruppert's Buttocks.
Yes.
That's what you do. You got connected to
Absolutely.
the whole thing. You just get,
My buttocks is an element on the periodic table. Fun fact, just turning it back over to Don.
Rupertium.
Where they're nuclear.
Rupert Buttockium.
He was
Murdoch.
quitting at him.
Something like that. Young people in China are venting their frustration in an anger room, which allows them to smash up wine bottles and mannequins to release tension. That is brilliant. Smash, not a clever name, Smash in Beijing is equipped with bats and hammers, and punters can take out their rage on old broken appliances like televisions, clocks, and telephones. The anger room was set up in September by Jin Ming and her friends, and is now getting through 15,000 bottles a month. Jen, 25 years old, quit her job in public relations.
Well, that makes so much sense.
To start the room, and has 600 customers a month. It's aimed at people aged 20 to 35, even though people beyond that have much more anger. We're just more subdued. We get on stage and tell jokes.
Yeah.
She said, a woman brought all her wedding photos here and smashed them all. We welcome people to bring their own stuff here to vent their anger, because we also see it as a place to say goodbye to a stage in life.
To vent their angler?
Angler, yes. Well, yeah, if you want to bring your tackle box and fishing poles and just break the heck out of them, by all means, go to China.
You ever see those events where you get a baseball bat and you get to smash a car like you get so many smashes? That would be a good full-time thing. Someone will get hurt.
Yeah, that's her full-time job now.
Yeah, I know. No, that would be a good thing to have, like a business for that, but then people will sue. They'll get hurt and sue.
Yeah.
Don't know about over there.
That's why you make them sign liability waivers.
That's true. Probably, but still something.
Yeah.
The Elk and Elk guy will get you.
With his hair.
Hair. I mean, that guy wakes up in the morning, he's like, it's go time.
Yeah.
That means he's a complete sociopath.
Yeah. He wakes up,
There's no
puts his hair on, and goes right out.
Part is his own hair is what's worse. If he put it on, it'd be better. It'd be detached from him, but no, it's part of his body.
Well, it's probably his own hair that's still detachable. There's something to that. There's something to that hair. There is.
There's a story behind it, and I don't want to be part of it in a courtroom.
It's elk and elk hair.
It is. Elk have better hair.
Elk and elk, attorneys at law.
Antlers would be less noticeable. You're crying out loud.
Police executing a search warrant on a New York State home ended up calling for assistance when they made an unexpected discovery: an alligator.
It's the
a lot of
alligator.
It's a lot of alligators in this show.
It is.
It's an alligatorful show. The Suffolk County SPCA said the Suffolk County Police Department was searching a Long Island home on an unrelated matter because they weren't looking for the alligator when they discovered the foot-long alligator being kept as a pet without a permit. Apparently, the alligator did not have a permit to be kept. That's what it sounded like to me.
That's
foot-long. That's not a.
How much is that at Subway?
Depends on what you get.
Yeah,
it's a cold cut combo.
I mean, the Rupert's foot long is pretty expensive.
Oh, Rupert.
Yeah, well, that's the hot foot long.
Rupert's
buns. That's
the
on
hot
hot toasted buns.
Rupert's buns is toasted. Damn it, Don, you beat me to it. I was going to use the Rupert's buns are toasted.
Yeah, he's got Quiznos buns, is what.
He's going to get so many calls after this.
Yeah. The SPCA and the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation was called to the scene to remove the reptile. Suffolk SPCA, I just wanted to say SPCA again. Chief Roy Gross said the alligator will be taken to a new home in a sanctuary in Massachusetts, because when I think of alligator sanctuaries, I think Massachusetts.
Gosh dang.
And Roy Gross.
What was the last one? Pennsylvania, and this is now Suffolk. That's Long Island. What are they doing so far north? I mean, these people are smuggling alligators.
Yep, gator smuggling.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
It's rough.
I got no
job,
take on that.
So when they moved, that's when they became the support alligator.
Right. Yeah. That's don't want to move a
Have you ever
support
seen
alligator.
an alligator
the rest
in
of them all
the
fall
zoo?
down.
They don't do anything. You might as well just get a photo portrait of one and hang it on your wall if you're going to own one. They don't do anything.
Yeah, they pretty much look like they died.
Yeah, they just sit there doing
one
nothing.
down at there's one down at the Newport Aquarium.
Yeah.
That's like really, really old, and it does not move. It's like it's not old; it's dead. This thing died like in
Probably made of
1982.
rubber.
They just keep showing it.
Oh no, it's still sleeping.
Yeah, it's gotten bigger. That's called bloating. It's been underwater this whole time. It's sick. Throw it out. Throw it out. Clean the tank and get a new one.
Got fat off.
There's one in Massachusetts. They just put in a home.
Got fat off of Ruppert's toasted buns.
There you go. Global warming.
Yeah.
I think milk
in your buns. Milk in your buns, Rupert. Milk in your buns.
Milk in the buns. Gosh dang.
Wow.
I mean, I just sat in
I
this chair.
braved the cold for this.
I swear this campus doesn't need to be plowed after tonight. It's like Ruppert came in.
Rupert's doing all the plowing already.
Everywhere he drives, just be plowed by itself.
I wish I had something to interject. I'm at a loss.
No, that's
You don't have a
we all are.
microphone. That's why.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
No, that's too bad. Poor guy. I stole his seat and microphone.
Are we all right? Have we recovered? Okay.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. He's
construction workers in Valdosta, Georgia, were surprised to discover around 1,000 teeth inside a building wall on Tuesday. That's right, a bunch of teeth, human teeth, not alligators this time around. According to a researcher quoted in the Valdosta Daily Times, the building's first tenant was a dentist named Dr. Clarence Whittington, which explains kind of the teeth's presence. Not really.
no, not at all. I mean,
why would he save them in a wall? It doesn't explain why the teeth were moving on. It doesn't explain why the teeth were in the wall, but what's life without a little dental mystery? The Daily Times also pointed out that wall teeth, which actually has trademark. They trademarked their wall teeth. Wall teeth have been found in 2 other Georgia cities as well, both times in buildings that previously had dental offices as tenants. Now we know where all the Georgians' teeth are going.
You know what? Has there ever been a horror movie where the main antagonist was a dentist? Because everybody
Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay, there you go.
Corbin Burnson.
My bad. Do you know that Wyatt Earp was a dentist?
I should have known that.
No, you don't have to know. I just Googled him the other day, and it was Wyatt Earp was a dentist before he became a gunslinger.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, there you
Wild
go.
West days.
I wonder if he stored teeth in his wall.
Probably stored more than that. I don't know. Just. Okay.
But yeah, they try to write that off as that explains it. He was a dentist, and that doesn't explain it because he was apparently psychotic.
I think dentists have high rates of suicide too. I just throw that out there.
Yeah.
It must be a bad,
It's probably not a great trade.
Yeah,
Is it
but there must be enough people in that trade.
It's a profession. It's a profession.
No, but it's really important for health. But it just must be like, oh my God, there must be like a lot of them that become unhinged.
Yeah,
because it's got to be like you're trapped. What are you going to do? Are you going to quit? You went to school all those years, and you're looking in. Some guy just took a big chunk out of a big, huge Bermuda onion, and you got to go look in his face now, and look at all those cysts in there and oozing pus because he's neglected his mouth for those many years. It's like just steaming local fever, like Ruppert's buttocks just bubbling up in your mouth.
It's always going to go back to your buttocks.
The problem is him eating a Bermuda onion.
Yeah.
I almost said oven for some reason.
Well, that would have hurt too.
Yes, oven because of the hot butter.
Yeah,
it was a Freudian slip. Adam's like, my whole movie's being overshadowed by Ruppert's butter. Oh my God, People to Kill has been. I just thought I'd throw the movie title.
Yeah. People to Kill
has been.
I think we've only got a couple minutes left, so I don't think we're going. I think we're going to skip the next news stories, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to just do promos for the rest of the 2 minutes. So if you guys want to shout out anything you have coming up, of course you got your movie you can throw out there. See, we do a bunch of craziness, and then we get back to the actual business of why we're here.
Craziness
We
is
just
awesome.
need to distract everybody from the fact that I don't know what the hell I'm doing on here. That's really...
That's fair. Well, yeah, no, People to Kill. Hopefully look for a premiere at the Yellow Cab Tavern sometime in the spring. I might pull that out. If nothing else, check out People to Kill movie page on Facebook, and my production company is Epic Failure Productions, also on Facebook. That was great because the movie opens. The first thing that opens is a big mushroom cloud.
I like it.
And Epic Failure Productions, and I got to laugh before the movie even started.
I like that.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we're good. So those two places I'm going to have on Facebook are going to have a lot of my news about DVDs when they're going to come out and what's going on with the premiere. I'm actually in pre-production for a sequel to People to Kill coming out, and then a comedy I'm writing that actually has Jeff Berkman and Mike Canistaro penciled in called Checking Out. That is hopefully going to come out if I can be funny for a while. So that should be looking forward to all those things.
Got a lot on your plate. Yeah, that's always fun.
I saw he gave me a little glimpse of what the checking out's going to be like, and it's darkly, glamorously funny.
Awesome.
The idea.
Awesome.
It's so
cool. Do you have anything coming up? I know you have Dose Dollar Store.
Yeah,
Dining
if you want to
Dudes,
go to, if anybody likes to watch a couple middle-aged dudes try to make jokes and review food from the dollar store, you could go to DoseDollarStoreDudes.com and watch some of our videos, or you could subscribe to me on YouTube. Would be grateful if you did that.
Yeah. Fun show, by the way.
We just filmed, I guess you could call it. If you got like just barely an HD camera, is that filming? Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, it's still something. I don't know.
Yeah, we just did a Super Bowl episode. It's going to be out on Friday probably, or later this week. I was busy editing it, but yeah, it's fun. Travis, he's either, whatever he says out of his mouth, my partner, it's either gold or needs to be edited out quickly. It's one of the two things. There's no middle ground.
That's good. That way, it's real easy to tell which it is. That way, yeah.
Yeah, but he's also a foodie, so it's good. So yeah, go check us out, DoseDollarStoreDudes.com if you like.
All right, Ruppert.
Check out the Barrel of Laughs comedy show February 7th at the Barrel in Springboro. Got a lot of great comics on there. Don's going to be on. We got Karen Jaffe, Dan Dean, Scotty Mays, a lot of great local comics, so come check it out. Free admission. We're also doing a raffle, so you might actually win some money for coming out. And also, just real quick, check out the Horror Hangover podcast. We're on CastBox and SoundCloud. It's a podcast where my buddy and I just give a comedic take on horror movies, so go to YouTube or either of those platforms and check that out. And, Don, I think that's all I got.
All right, Ruppert, thanks for bringing your hot buns in here and guest co-hosting. You did a fantastic job. Thank you. Adam, always a pleasure. I guess it's the first time you were here, so this is the first time, so it's always a pleasure this time.
It has been always a pleasure every time I've seen you.
It's always been a pleasure for me to be here. I don't know how many times I've been here, but it's been a lot.
I'd have to go back through because we've had like 190 some.
I was on here when you didn't know how to play songs. Remember, we were like, you were panicking on how to do songs, and it was
as often as Patrick changes stuff on there, I probably don't know how to play one now.
No, I think it was it was one of your first shows. I think I was.
Oh yeah. I think
maybe
you were like in one of my first three. I think.
Yeah,
because my
like
first
that.
guest ever was Aaron Evans when he was managing Wiley's.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah,
now,
I think
where
you
do
were
you
like
know?
And now
look where you are. So now you just need to book someone else on this show that
turn back time.
Book someone else to take your place.
Yeah. All right. Did you find my outro on there? I hope I didn't make it too confusing by listing it as outro. But no, I'm kidding.
It was confusing because it only has one T. I was looking for two T's.
Oh, I don't like two T's. Anyway,
I do.
I just like one T in my outro.
I like black tea.
Yeah, well, moving on. Okay, no, moving out. We're done. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
It's been fun. Ruppert, thank you. Patrick, thank you. Take us home. Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, with repeats on Wednesdays from 10 to noon and Thursdays from noon to 2. You can also stream the show live at WWSU1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments for the show, feel free to email thelife1069@gmail.com.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence.
That's why you make them sign liability waivers.